Hello guys. Welcome to the final episode of Harry Potter series Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. So let's start the video. Harry Potter and the Cursed Child is a 2016 British two-part play written by Jack Thorne based on an original story by J.K. Rowling, John Tiffany, and Thorne. Previews of the play began at the Palace Theatre, London, on the 7th of June 2016, and it premiered on the 30th of July 2016. The play opened on Broadway on the 22nd of April 2018 at the Lyric Theatre, with previews starting on the 16th of March 2018. Its cast is similar to that of the first year on West End, with returning actors Anthony Boyle, Sam Clement, Noma Dumezveni, Poppy Miller, Jamie Parker, Alex Price, and Paul Thornley. The story begins 19 years after the events of the 2007 novel Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, and follows Harry Potter, now head of the Department of Magical Law Enforcement at the Ministry of Magic, and his younger son, Albus Severus Potter, who is about to attend Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. The play is marketed as the 8th official story in the Harry Potter series. The play is divided in two parts, consisting of 2 acts each. Act 1. In the opening scene, set during the epilogue of Deathly Hallows in the year 2017, Harry and Ginny Potter send their son, Albus Severus, on the Hogwarts Express to begin his first year at Hogwarts. Harry works a desk job as the head of magical law enforcement at the Ministry of Magic, while Ginny is the editor of the sports section of the Daily Prophet. Ron Weasley and Hermione Granger also send their daughter Rose on the train. Hermione is now Minister of Magic, while Ron manages Weasley's wizard whiz in Diagon Alley. On his first trip aboard the Hogwarts Express, Albus makes an unlikely friendship with Scorpius Malfoy, the son of Harry's former nemesis Draco and his wife Astoria Gringotts. The school is stunned when, in a break with the tradition of Potters being sorted into Gryffindor, Albus is sorted into Slytherin alongside Scorpius. Both boys are bullied by other students over the next few years, Albus due to his perceived failure to live up to his parents, Scorpius due to unproven rumors that he is the son of Lord Voldemort. Scorpius's mother then passes away due to a fatal disease. In addition, Albus and Harry drift apart due to Albus's struggles with his father's shadow and Harry's uncertainty on how to deal with his son's problems. Albus also drifts apart from Rose, with whom he was close before meeting Scorpius. Prior to his 4th year, Albus gets into a fight with his father after being given the latter's baby blanket and a love potion from Ron. During the fight, Harry says that he sometimes wishes Albus was not his son, and Albus spills the potion on the blanket. Harry obtains a prototype of a more powerful version of the Time Turner, built by a Slytherin contemporary of Harry's, Theodore Nott, that allows one to travel back into the past and change history. Simultaneously, Harry's scar starts hurting again, causing him to become concerned that Voldemort may be returning. Amos Diggory, who has become old and is cared for by his niece, Delphi, asks Harry to use the Time Turner to prevent the death of his son, Cedric. After overhearing Harry refuse to help the Diggorys, Albus is inspired to do so himself and convinces Scorpius to help him. The two escape from the Hogwarts Express in the Trolley Witch. The two arrive at St. Oswald's home for old witches and wizards in Yorkshire, where Amos lives, and team up with Delphi to steal the Time Turner from Hermione's office, in the Ministry of Magic, while disguised with Pelagius Potion. Act 2. Knowing that Cedric's death was the result of him winning the Triwizard Tournament won alongside Harry, the boys used the Time Turner to travel back to the first tournament challenge in 1994. The two disguise themselves as Durmstrang students in an attempt to sabotage Cedric to prevent his victory. The plan fails, and the disguises cause Hermione to become suspicious of Victor Krum, a Durmstrang student, and go to the Yule Ball with Ron instead. As a result, Ron never experiences the jealousy fundamental to his relationship with Hermione, and the two never marry. Ron instead falls in love with Padma Patil at the ball, and Hermione becomes a frustrated and mean professor at Hogwarts, teaching defense against the dark arts. Meanwhile, Harry has nightmares about Voldemort as he grows suspicious that the wizard will return. A centaur named Bane tells Harry that a dark cloud is around Albus. Convinced that Scorpius is a threat to Albus, Harry tries to have the boys kept apart at Hogwarts by attempting to force Headmistress Minerva McGonagall to keep tabs on Albus using the Marauders map. Albus and Scorpius's friendship is destroyed, but the two eventually reconcile after Albus steals Harry's old invisibility cloak from Albus's older brother James Sirius. Harry is persuaded to relent after a conversation with Draco and Ginny. Meanwhile, Albus and Scorpius make another attempt to use the Time Turner to change Cedric's fate, this time by humiliating him during the Triwizard Tournament's second task. When Scorpius returns to the present day, however, Albus is not with him. Dolores Umbridge walks up to him and reveals that Harry is dead and Lord Voldemort rules the wizarding world. Scorpius follows Umbridge back to Hogwarts as Dementors fly around the auditorium and a banner with a dark mark is revealed. Act 3. Scorpius discovers that, as a result of his actions, an embittered Cedric joined the Death Eaters and killed Neville Longbottom during the events of Deathly Hallows, preventing him from killing Nagini and allowing Voldemort to win the Battle of Hogwarts. With Harry now dead, Albus subsequently never existed, while Voldemort was able to completely consolidate power and transform the Ministry of Magic into a dictatorial regime. In the new timeline, Scorpius became a popular head boy and Quidditch star, helping the staff and students torment Muggleborns. Dolores Umbridge became the new headmistress of Hogwarts and patrols the school with Dementors and a revived inquisitorial squad led by Scorpius. Draco Malfoy occupies Harry's old position as the head of magical law enforcement, using his post to encourage routine attacks on Muggles and bribe the Prime Minister to remain silent on the actions of the Death Eaters. A powerful dark figure called the Augury leads the Ministry of Magic. With help from Ron, Hermione, and Severus Snape, now the final members of a dwindling anti-Voldemort resistance movement, Scorpius is able to use the Time Turner to prevent the interference of Albus and his past self and restore the events of the original timeline. The alternate Ron, Hermione, and Snape sacrificing themselves to the Dementors in order to allow him to do so. Scorpius reunites with Albus, and the two boys are eventually found by their parents, as well as Ron and Hermione. Following these events, Harry scolds Albus for his actions, but the two nevertheless begin to reconcile. Realizing the danger the Time Turner poses and deciding their parents will continue to keep it, as Hermione had done in the Ministry of Magic, Scorpius and Albus attempt to destroy it themselves, but they are joined by Delphi Diggory. Scorpius realizes that Delphi was in charge of the Ministry of Magic in the alternate timeline from her tattoo of the wings of a magical bird, which she says is called an augury, and she takes them captive, later revealing her intention of restoring the alternate timeline. A fellow student, Craig Boker Jr., tries to intervene as Delphi holds Albus and Scorpius captive on the Quidditch pitch, and Delphi murders him. After Ron reveals he saw Albus and Scorpius with Delphi while he was in Hogsmeade with Neville Longbottom, Harry and Draco confront Amos, only to discover Delphi is not his niece, but had placed Amos under a Confundius charm. Delphi takes the boys to the final challenge of the Triwizard Tournament, but Albus and Scorpius prevent her from acting, and Delphi uses the Time Turner again to travel farther back in time. She inadvertently takes the boys with her and then destroys the Time Turner to leave them all stranded in time. Searching Delphi's room, Harry, Draco, Ginny, Hermione, and Ron discover hidden writing on the walls describing a prophecy that will allow Voldemort to return. Draco questions why she would be so obsessed with Voldemort's return, as Ginny finds writing on the ceiling that reveals Delphi as the daughter of Voldemort. In a real-world depiction corresponding to the change in history, the concession store in the foyer of the theater also changes, and sells shirts, mugs, hoodies, and other memorabilia with the Voldemort logos, not available during Acts 1 and 2. Act 4. Abandoned by Delphi in the past, Albus and Scorpius discover they have been taken back to the night before Harry's parents were killed at Godric's Hollow, the 31st of October 1981, and assume Delphi is planning to kill Harry before Voldemort attempts to do so, which severely weakens Voldemort. Albus and Scorpius write an invisible message on Harry's baby blanket, knowing in the present, which is now also the night of the anniversary of the death of Harry's parents, when he often looks for his blanket as it is the only physical memento he has, the blanket would become stained with love potion and expose the message to Harry. Meanwhile, Draco reveals the Time Turner was actually a prototype for a perfected model owned by him. It was made for his father, but they remain unable to rescue the boys due to their uncertainty over which time period they have entered. After Harry receives the message from the boys, he and his allies use Draco's Time Turner to travel back in time to save them and stop Delphi. While waiting for Delphi, they deduce she intends to convince Voldemort to abandon his doomed attempt to kill Harry, ensuring her father's survival and allowing her to be with him. Harry disguises himself as Voldemort using Transfiguration to distract Delphi, during which Delphi reveals that Bellatrix Lestrange is her mother, and after a struggle, the group manages to subdue her. Rather than killing Delphi, it is decided that she will be brought to Azkaban prison. Lord Voldemort then appears and is oblivious to the presence of Harry and the group. The group allows the murder of Harry's parents to play out again, unwilling to risk the consequences of altering the past. They all stand with Harry to watch the sad event replay. After returning to the present day, Delphi is sent to Azkaban. Albus and Scorpius now decide to be more active at Hogwarts, with Scorpius expressing interest in trying out for Quidditch and asking Rose on a date. Harry and Albus visit Cedric's grave, with Harry apologizing for his role in Cedric's death. Thank you guys for watching this video. We will be reviewing this series, and we'll be posting a video soon. See you all on another video. Goodbye!